of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. As you can tell, back home, made it home from the beach in time yesterday to watch LSU LSU Kennesaw State. They will play Southern Miss today because of the improbability of last night, which we'll talk about here. So if you somehow miss the game, I mean, everyone's gonna have a story about this. I would imagine for the rest of their lives watching this game. LSU was dead in the water, but I mean that is why baseball is awesome, right there. That's why baseball is awesome. There is no game clock. And for all the people who say baseball is too long, was anybody looking at their clock last night thinking in the eighth inning, man, this is just going on too long? I mean, that's why baseball is awesome, because there is no game clock. It is never over until you record 27 outs. And a team like LSU, as good as they are offensively, the whole narrative going into that game last night was, man, Kennesaw State, they can really swing it. Team batting average of 301, but their bullpen, their staff ERA is north of 6. And I thought Kennesaw State did a really risky thing by piggybacking their starters. Not altogether uncommon, like it has happened before. If you were watching the live last night, I mentioned 2017 Florida in that championship series. Kevin O'Sullivan did. He brought in Jackson Coar, his number 3 starter, out of the bullpen to finish that game 2 against LSU. And if that did not work, then you were facing Alex Lang in game 3. Florida would have been facing Alex Lang in game 3 without a starter, because you would just burn your number 3 Jackson Coar. So, but it worked for O'Sullivan that night, much to LSU's chagrin. But Kennesaw State last night, piggybacking their starters the way they did, it looked like it was going to work for them. I mean, it looked like the way Myers was dealing into the 8th inning looked like it was going to work out. Like it was a brilliant move. Bezdicek, you ran him after an inning and 2/3. You hit the lefty. You got the lefty out of the game. And you got the bases loaded with 2 outs in the second. They go to Myers, mid-count, by the way. And, Myers comes in and he gets Thompson. That wasn't mid-count, sorry. He strikes out Thompson and the threat, and then went 5 1/3 and was great for 5 of those 5 1/3. Except for the homer that Joe Bear hit off of him, he gave up nothing until that 8th inning when LSU finally broke through, and then we got to see why they have an ERA, a staff ERA north of 6, because they just had nobody else to go to that could get out. So it was just stock righty after stock righty, and LSU broke through. So we'll talk about it. Y'all fire away with questions, comments, talk about what LSU does tonight now in a winner's bracket game, of course, against Southern Miss. So thank you for being there. If you're on Facebook, please like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. YouTube, smash that like button, you know the drill. And we'll say some good mornings here. Ryan, Amanda Guidry. Hey, Mark, good morning. Frank Gore Jr. and Brett Favre were in Hattiesburg Regional. That's cool. Jeff McKithen, what's up, man? David Coslin, good morning. Ricky Lambert. Skip, what's up, man? Change clothes in TV rooms in the 7th. Wait. Change clothes and TV rooms in the 7th last night. Gold again tonight. Let the magic continue. I guess it has to be true, right? That the baseball gods were not going to allow LSU to lose to a team wearing beer league softball uniforms. A directional school wearing beer league softball uniforms. Couldn't have happened. Brian, what's good, man? From Louisville. All right, man. Do you know if there's any truth about the volunteer players got busted using the juice? So someone asked that last night too. I don't know that. What Tony Vitello said after the game was that their catcher was sick. So until something comes out, I don't know that to be true though. But listen, if I could be somewhat irresponsible for a moment, considering the conversations that people have about that program, nothing would surprise me. I mean, again, I don't want to be too irresponsible with it, but people around the game in the Southeastern Conference have been talking a lot about Tennessee and how not only did you have guys, have an emergence, but to have 7, 8 guys go from meh to straight dudes. Like, something's just not right there. It just doesn't happen like that. Anyway, but again, that's admittedly on the verge of being irresponsible because I can't back that up with evidence. I've had a lot of people talk to me about things that have been implied, things that seem to be accepted in certain circles that are happening at Tennessee, and I would likely believe them given the nature of the season that they've had from. Well, anyway, don't want to talk about Tennessee. Larry Cavalier, good morning. Earl, what's going on? Be honest, great comeback. Not too impressed with LSU pitching. Not confident moving forward. So, Earl, here's the thing, man. Sometimes pitchers have off days, right? And that was McHale yesterday. McHale didn't have a great day. 2 2/3. Was lifted in the third inning. Gave up 5 runs and 5 hits. He walked 2. I'll tell you, the 2 strike and 2 out hits are what hurt. Hatcher, the center fielder who led off for them, was 3 for 4 in the game. Also got hit by a pitch. Was all over the place. Scored 4 runs for them. Hatcher got the game started when McHale had him on a 1-2 count, and he doubled off the wall. Like, McHale's got to put that guy away. And I'll tell you, and I'll say this, and I know some of you are going to roll your eyes. This is a factor where you miss Alex Milazzo. Okay, and I'm going to say this. So again, roll your eyes if you want. I really don't care. One of the things, I'll give you the Alex Lang example. Alex Lang, throughout his career, probably struck out 200 guys bouncing a breaking ball 58 feet. But he knew that Michael Papierski was a brick wall, and if he threw it 58 feet, Pap was gonna block it up. Do you think McHale, because the pitch he doubled he hung the breaking ball. That was the leadoff double in the game. You think McHale doesn't even have a little bit in his brain, hey, if I bounce this on that turf, it's going to the backstop? Now, with nobody on base, lead off the game, maybe it's not. But you don't think that's at least a little bit in his brain throughout that game? Maybe. But McHale didn't have his best stuff, and neither did Riley Cooper. But Devin Fontenot was fantastic. Paul Gervais looked as good as he has all year. I mean, so I understand your point, Earl, but we know what this team is. They don't have great starting pitching, but they have the strength has been the depth in the bullpen. And ultimately, they were able to keep handing the ball off till they found someone. In this case, it was Fontenot, who was spectacular. And I said it last night on the live immediate reaction. I'm going to say it again. Too many of y'all have unfairly criticized Devin Fontenot. Dude has been, and it's because he set such a high bar with the way he pitched in that Florida State Super Regional. And you've ignored the fact that throughout his career, dude has been a gamer, and he has come through in some big spots for LSU, and he did again last night. But too often, we accentuate the negative with certain guys, and unfortunately, I don't know why he's one of them for a lot of you. But throughout his career, he's the NFL. He is the LSU's career appearance leader. Nobody's pitched in more games in LSU career than Devin Fontenot, and you don't keep getting the ball if you stink. So I'm happy for him. Dude was awesome last night. He held the line and did what you hoped Riley Cooper was going to do in the third and stop the bleeding. Cooper just didn't do it. Cooper allowed 6 runs. If anything, they should have, and I tweeted this during the game. So you cannot say this is hindsight. They let Cooper pitch to, Cooper walked the 9-hole hitter in the 5th. Cooper walked the 9-hole hitter, and they left him in because it was a lefty-lefty matchup. And so I got it, all right? I understood. If you want to leave Cooper in there to face the lefty, to go lefty-lefty, I get it. Well, he walked the 9-hole hitter. And then the lineup turned over, and then here comes Hatcher. Hatcher, the kid who was just blistering the baseball, who's their best hitter, best player, hitting nearly 400 on the year, and he's a righty. And I tweeted, there is no way you can let Riley Cooper pitch to Hatcher. You cannot let him go lefty-righty here against Hatcher. They let him go lefty-righty, Hatcher gets the RBI single, and then they lift Cooper for Fontenot, who ultimately was able to stop the bleeding. But I tweeted last night, I think that might be, and I'm not into hyperbole, but that might be the biggest mistake Jay Johnson and Jason Kelly made all year, was letting Cooper pitch to Hatcher. It's inexcusable. Pat Huseman, Joey Vincent, Trivia Carter, Merrick Mathern. Sorry, y'all, I'm just getting over here to the YouTube comments. I apologize. I've been rambling a little bit. I'm excited, but I'll be here for as long as y'all need me to. Wendell Norman, what's up? Trivia, great timing, Matt, on my way to the farmer's market. All right, man. You're probably being a little sarcastic there, but that's okay. Binky Bop, what happened with Tennessee and the PED testing? Again, don't know. Nothing has been confirmed there, so I'm not going to be the one out here and saying that they're juicing. But their catcher was unavailable last night. So their catcher, Evan Russell, here's the quote from Tony Vitello. And Tony Vitello was awful defensive. Tony Vitello said he got a message from Evan Russell Friday morning. Tennessee baseball catcher said he was sick. Quote, "We will give it some time to figure out what's going on because I got to get with the doctor. I'm going to always defer to those folks." So anyway, Vitello said that he was sick. Anyway. Alex Barnes, Matt loved your energy last night. Thanks for watching, man. Wendell Norman, Hunter Fournette. I'll be 1,000 or 10,000% honest. I turned it off by the 5th, went and checked D1, and they were down by 4. LOL, had to turn it back on. You're probably like a lot of people, Hunter. I mean, I'm telling you, I said it last night on the live. I was legitimately starting to think, okay, through scenarios of how they start to stack their pitching coming out of the losers bracket, because I said that I thought starting McHale was 100% the right decision because this team has to go. Through the winners bracket. So starting your best player was, or starting your best pitcher was your best option to get into the winner's bracket. Now, it doesn't always work out, and it didn't for McHale last night. He didn't throw great. But, I mean, are we to assume that Floyd would have fared any better? Now, it worked out because you won the game in the end. But, anyway. Sorry, I got distracted. I was watching SportsCenter. So I don't know what I was saying there. Spurge, what's up, man? Sports fan 79, you mean very, very lucky to win? Hey, bro, you have to go up there and swing the bat. Lucky would be they started kicking the ball around. Lucky would be they started throwing the ball away, pass balls. Like they started making mistakes that opened the door for you. When you go up there and utilize your 27 outs and keep swinging, it doesn't matter when they come. And they come in bunches in one inning, it's what it is. Ultimately, Fontenot came in, stopped the bleeding, and you gave your offense time to get going, and they did. So, give them credit. Tiger Den Sports, stunning comeback by LSU. Stayed up for the whole game. Tigers never give up. D, good morning. Great show. Had a ton of new participants. Yeah, man, the live those are fun, man. I like doing the after-hour shows. I like doing the live reaction shows. I mean, I obviously love doing the companion shows when we could, but Trent Delahousse, has your opinion changed slightly regarding the importance of midweek games after Florida and Auburn received host sites instead of Arkansas and LSU? No, none whatsoever, Trent, because, again, the reason LSU ultimately did not host had nothing to do with midweek games. It had to do with the fact that LSU's RPI was below those two schools. And your midweek games would not affect that at all. LSU went on the road and won 3 games against Vanderbilt with a number 3 RPI, and that didn't get them back into the top 20. Do you think that winning all of your midweek games is going to bump you that high? Come on, bro. And everybody loses midweek games at points in the season. So no, that's never ever going to be the point. The problem is that you had a committee, and I don't want to get in this stupid argument again. You had a selection committee that ultimately decided what it wanted to do. And you can say, well, the SEC tournament mattered. Well, it did for Florida. It didn't for Auburn. LSU had more conference wins than both of those teams. And what happened? Ultimately, it didn't matter for Auburn. They got bounced in the first round by the last team in the field, and they still got to host. Florida, with 15 conference wins, 2 fewer than LSU, played until Saturday and ultimately got to host. So you say, well, it's just 2 games. Well, what about A&M? A&M won just 2 games more than LSU. They're a damn national seed. 2 games is a lot. It should matter. I mean, the committee can do it at once, and it basically made its decision, then explained it later. And that's the gigantic problem that I have with the committee. DT accidentally fell asleep 4-11, 11-4, woke up to a bat ping saying we were tied. Confusion ensued. Connor O'Neill, the Auburn fan, is feeling himself for falling backwards into a regional host spot, beating Southeastern. How cute. Oh, that's an Auburn guy. Okay. Jonah Charbonneau. Fontenot is the unsung hero to me for the game. He came up huge. Jonah, I don't know that he's unsung. We're singing him a lot today, but I get your point. D.M. Gilmore, 78. What's up? Nathan Nall. Why leave the lefty in so long? Wouldn't have had to come back so much if we pulled him after the first home run. I'm actually in agreement with you. I think they should have pulled Cooper sooner. It was clear he didn't have it. I understand he has been so good for them this year, why you're going to give him a little bit more leash. But, yeah, man. Boy, that was... I was surprised that... hang on, I'm going to refresh this box for y'all. I'm sorry. Just give me 1 second. I lost the page. I want to get back to it. Sorry. Real quick. Let's see. Okay. All right. All right, Randall. Morning, Matt. Not trying to rain on the parade. It's time to turn the page to Southern Miss, figure out their pitching staff. Hey, Randall, I get you, bro. The coaching staff can do that. Like, you and I aren't figuring out Southern Miss and their pitching staff. And if people want to still talk about last night and this is their first opportunity, they can do that. Like, game's at 6 o'clock tonight, bro. And you and I figuring out the pitching staff doesn't really matter. Jay Johnson and Jason Kelly have their plan, and I think we kind of know what they're going to do. Like, they're going to throw Ty Floyd tonight, and then the question is who comes after that. And we'll talk about that. That's totally fine. But don't tell people to stop talking about last night. I mean, that game, when it wrapped up around 10, a lot of people haven't had an opportunity to talk about it, so we're going to talk about it for sure. Hunter Rascal, does Tennessee remind you of Hugh Freeze at Ole Miss? Yes. Yeah. It's great. That's a great analogy. Like, 1 year you have the number 1 recruiting class. Doesn't happen like that. And it's not only that. It's they went and pulled a lot of transfers that went from just guys and became total dudes. Like Paul Gervais has had a really good emergence, right? But Paul Gervais was already throwing mid-90s. They had dudes that went from like throwing upper 80s, lower 90s, 90, 92 to like dotting 98 this year. I mean, they have a dude that went from strong arm pitcher to throwing literally 105. And it would be one thing if it was like just one guy that had that kind of meteoric jump, but they have like 8 that did that this year. Like, that's where you go, like, come on, man. Like, what's going on there? Like, so I get it. I get the skepticism. They're a great team. Like, please don't misunderstand. They are by far the best team in college baseball. They have been all year. But to the skeptics who are going like, I get it. I get it. Rapid Matches, what's up? Raymond, morning. Matt got home after dinner, tuned in, and we're down 11-4. Glad I stuck with it. The boys got shelled out there. Dave Van Der, good morning. Great win. Fontenot did not get enough credit. Logan Foster, what's up, man? Good morning. What about LSU using the Cat X bat that isn't available to the public yet? When you got it, you got it. I don't know anything about that, quite honestly. I'm so not in that circle, right? I mean, I guess you didn't. Maybe who was that? Logan. I mean, parents with kids playing youth baseball may know that sort of stuff. I have no idea. I'm so far out of that. So, let's see. Mark, strength versus strength tonight. LSU's hitting against Southern Miss's pitching. You know, the flip side of that, Mark, which will be interesting, is, you know, if Southern Miss offensively is not great. I mean, they do have some big bats in the lineup, which we can talk about. But clearly, their Southern Miss's strength this year has been pitching. I mean, they're number 2 in the country in staff ERA. They're awesome. You know, we'll talk. Well, hell, I'll just pull it up right now. I talked about it a bit. I was very surprised that Southern Miss threw Tanner Hall in Game 1. Just candidly, just very surprised. I figured they would save Tanner Hall because. So I'm going to back up. For all that I've said that LSU made the right decision throwing Mikhail Hilliard yesterday, I am normally, and I've gotten into a lot of arguments over the years, namely with Terrio, over this. I am all about pitching backwards in a regional. If you are the host, if you are the 1 seed, and you are in a 1-4 matchup, then I am all for pitching backwards. Like when LSU played Jackson State, at the box, when LSU played Lehigh, when LSU played ULM. Like if you're in a 1-4 matchup and you're the 1 and you have a significant, if you have a set rotation, I'm okay taking your number 2 or number 3 guy and throwing them first. Or a weekend guy. I mean, my guy Alden Cartwright started that game against Lehigh back in 2014 at the box. Like, I'm okay with that because you should be able to win it throwing just a guy, right? And then you save your dude for the marble game, for the winner's bracket game. So, I am normally that guy, okay? But in this instance, LSU doesn't have a rotation. And you had a much tougher opponent. Like if LSU was the 1 and they were playing Army, I'm thinking you probably could get away with maybe throwing Blake Money in that opener. So, you know, but that's just not LSU's reality. That's something that Southern Miss could have done. They could have pitched backwards, but they didn't. So Hunter Riggins is their number 2 guy, or the guy who pitches second for them. And they got 3 dudes, okay? Tanner Hall's their Friday guy. Riggins has been their number 2, and Hurston Waldrop has been their number 3. Riggins, of the 3, I mean, all have an ERA under 3. Riggins' ERA is 2.75. Hang on, I'll get. This is what I'm assuming they're going to throw tonight. He's got an ERA of 2.75. He's got 79 strikeouts in 88 1/3 innings pitched, so fewer than a strikeout per innings pitched. Compare that to Tanner Hall, who's got 139 strikeouts in 101.2 innings pitched. And then Waldrop's got 117 strikeouts in 78 innings pitched. So you've got 2 big strikeout arms, and LSU likely will face Riggins today, I would assume. They're all righties, by the way, who is not the strikeout pitcher. So maybe that's advantage LSU. We'll see. Still got a great ERA. And the sort of component there to all of the Southern Miss guys is they don't walk a lot of people. Their strikeout to walk ratio is one of the best in the country. Riggins has 79 strikeouts to just 20 walks on the season, so 20 walks in 88 1/3 innings pitched. So roughly a walk every 4 innings. So he's good, man. It's going to be a really interesting matchup to see which way Southern Miss goes on the mound, but Riggins will likely be the guy, and I guess for LSU they'll likely throw Ty Floyd. Yeah, there you go, Reagan. Just kind of gave you that one. Randy Bennett, good morning. Josh Langlois, good morning. Stephen Ruckman, morning Scone. If we could pull a win tonight, do you think they'll pitch Hilliard again for the win tomorrow or save him for a must-win Monday? Yeah, my guess is, Stephen, he would. So if they win today, if LSU wins tonight, I don't think you bring Hilliard back on 1 day's rest. You could, But the better option would be, because someone would have to beat you twice, you could save McHale for a potential Monday start. Through 55 pitches, you could bring him back on 2 days. You wouldn't likely see him extend, but he could start for you. And that's likely what I think they would do. You absolutely could bring McHale back for a short outing on Sunday. I do not think you would throw him today after throwing 55 pitches. But you absolutely could bring him back for a short stint on Sunday. Because keep in mind, like, this is your season, right? I mean, and for McHale, it's his LSU career. If you're playing an elimination game and you want to throw him 20, 30 pitch, whatever it is, you're not going to ruin a guy's career doing that. Doing it consistently, sure, but one time in a tournament like this, you got to do what you got to do. So. Monty Braley, morning Matt, what a game. My son and I were there, left top 8. Oh no, why would you leave? We were at the game of the possum the rally possum, and we leave the inning before it happened. Bro, Monty, like, that's just on you, bro. Like, you got to stick it out with your team, man. I mean, if you leave early, if that's something you do, like if you leave, and you've probably left plenty of games early where they didn't make a comeback, but if that's just your habit where you leave one-sided games early, you're going to miss comebacks. You're going to miss amazing things. It's not that you're bad luck. That's just your habit as a fan. And by the way, you want to leave, bro. Like, do you? I tell you all the time. We'll never tell anybody what to do with their spare time, spare money, disposable income. So you want to leave early? You want to come late, leave early? That's you. But don't be surprised when you miss great things late. That's on you. I mean, you're going to miss great comebacks. The great comeback isn't going to happen in every game. But if you leave every time when your team's down, you're going to miss great comebacks. Hang on. All right, here we go. Sorry, I'm trying to find my spot on the comments. All right. Tony Janusa, good morning. Dave, great day yesterday. College baseball, right up until the ESPN announcer accused Tennessee player of being on PEDs. Did an announcer say that? So someone's gonna have to send me, because I have not seen. Oh man, that's cool. There's a robin. Oh, there's a cardinal. Shoot, there's a cardinal right outside my window. That's pretty cool. You don't see those a lot. You would have to send me Ian Ladner, so you aren't okay going lefty against Hatcher. No, don't get me wrong. Okay. So he's talking about whenever Cooper came out, and I get it. We're like 10 minutes behind on comments. It's my fault. I'm trying to go as fast as I can. Hatcher at that point in the game was 3 for 3 and he was on base 4 times with the hit by pitch. He is by far their best hitter. And you're in a situation where you have got to at some point stop the bleeding. I know I keep using that phrase. Hang on. I can't believe as much as Cooper was struggling in an RBI situation with Hatcher up, their best hitter, they let him throw to Hatcher. I get it, lefty, but Hatcher clearly had no problem hitting Riley Cooper. Hang on. Let's see. Because he walked Kalina. Hang on. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's see. So he walked Kalina. Who was the lefty. Right, okay. So he walks Kalina, who's a lefty, the 9-hole hitter. So I get it. Lefty, 9-hole hitter. You got a lefty-on-lefty matchup. I'm totally okay and understand letting Cooper throw to Kalina. Again, 9-hole hitter, you got a lefty. I get it. I'm good letting him throw to Kalina. But he walked him on 5 pitches. Then Hatcher comes up. At that point, I don't care that Hatcher's a lefty. He's their best hitter. He's already hit Riley Cooper. I cannot believe you let Riley Cooper struggling as bad as he did throw to Hatcher in the fifth. That was my point. Water under the bridge, LSU in the game, whatever. But obviously Hatcher singled. It was an RBI single. Then they brought in Cooper, who doubled promptly, and Hatcher scored and Kalina scored. So it was a 2-run double right there. Anyway, I would not have let Cooper throw to Hatcher. I get it. Give me a different look. Like at that point, so Ian, at that point, it can't just be about lefty-lefty. It's their best hitter. You had the lefty-lefty matchup on the 9-hole hitter, and you walked him on 5 pitches. All right, that's all I got to say on that. Because I know people don't care. I don't want to get too into the minutiae of that. Smash that like button, by the way. If you're there watching, 140 of you watching on YouTube, just 40 likes. Let's get that like button smashed if we could. As always, shout out to Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. brortho.com as a reminder. Brock Rock and Wine is coming up. Brock Rock and Wine. Fired up about that. August the 8th, Brock Rock and Wine is coming. I'm sorry, August the 6th. August the 6th. Brock Rock and Wine in Tiger Stadium. New date, new venue this year in Tiger Stadium. Really cool fundraiser. So get your tickets at brortho.com, brortho.com. And of course, Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. There was hail in the greater Baton Rouge area yesterday. I'm going to tell you this as plainly as I can. If you had hail fall at your house anytime in the last year, please give us a call. Please give us a call. Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing and hudcoroofing.com. All right. Stacy Fontenot, good morning. Good morning. Stacy, you might want to scroll back to the beginning of the show. Talked about the night Devin had last night. Let's see. Sorry. Let me get back to my spot here. The comments. Dustin Fontenot, off topic, but got a bottle of Kentucky Owl. Super pumped to pull the cork. Dustin, which Kentucky Owl? Is it the 11-year rye? Is it the bourbon? Let me know which Kentucky Owl you got. Taz, how much does player speed matter playing baseball when on defense versus being in the right position on the field? It's a really good point. Really good question. Well, I'll give you an example. Obviously, you want to be in position, but then great speed allows you to make up ground. There was a ball hit down the right field line yesterday. It might have been the last runs that they scored. It was the flare down the right field line, and it went for a double. It might have been the first batter that Fontenot faced. It wasn't hard hit. It was a flare down the right field line. And you had Joe Bear, who just couldn't get to it and took a bad angle, so it went to the wall. And 2 runs scored. That's an instance where you're hurt not having elite speed in the outfield. That's a ball that maybe Pearson gets to. Someone like Mark Laird absolutely gets to. Anything in the air, that dude caught. That's why when you had Laird, Stevenson, Fraley, you had 3 dudes that were basically center fielders. Anything in the air to the outfield was caught. They were awesome. So, yeah, it matters. Positioning matters, but then the ability to make up ground, no doubt. And by the way, I don't think you have an option. You need Joe Bear's bat in the lineup, as you saw last night. Dude cranked a monster 2-run shot to get LSU within 5-4 off of Myers. Like, you got to have Joe Bear's bat in the lineup. But right now, because of Doty not being able to play second and you're DHing Doty, you got to have Joe Bear in right field. You just have to. All right. Damon Hinderberger, morning Matt. Did Southern Miss throw their ace yesterday? No, they threw him yesterday. They threw Tanner Hall yesterday. But they have 3 really good pitchers. All 3 of their starters have an ERA under 3. They have the number 2 staff ERA in the country. Like, you're going to have a great offense going against a great pitching staff today, which is going to be fascinating to see how, the old adage that great pitching beats great hitting all the time. Well, we'll find out tonight. Let's see. Connor O'Neill, what's good? Randall, Matt, did you see the kid from Auburn hit the home run from both sides to play the same inning? I did. Pretty cool. Casey Smith, any game coin updates? Yeah, Casey actually gave one last night. This coming week, we have GameCoin board members that will be in Las Vegas with GameCoin ambassador athlete Demario Davis at a 7-on-7 tournament, recruiting other NFL players. Very, very excited about that, and we are really close to launch. I know I say that, and it's the hard part is the analogy I'll give. It's like working under the hood of a car, where externally you may not see a lot of progress, but there's a ton going on. That's what's happening right now. The smart contract with Sarah Technologies is essentially complete. The developers are building out the wireframes, and it is coming along fantastically. Ultimately, you'll have to take the smart contract, integrate it with the wireframe, and then go through tons of testing to make sure everything works as it should. But we are close, really, really close, man. Josh Langlaw, good morning. Ultimate Warrior pulled it off. Let's sweep this regional. Let's go, man. Dave Ender, by the way, welcome home. Thank you, Dave. Devin Fontenot, MVP. Man, I'll say it again for those who just jumped aboard. That's a dude I think has taken way too much criticism over his LSU career. He's been a gamer his whole time in Baton Rouge. No one has had more appearances than Devin Fontenot. He has had some of his biggest outings in his career in the postseason, and last night was one of them. Like, flatly, you don't win that game if he doesn't throw up 3 zeros in that ball game last night. The fact that Devin Fontenot took the ball and in the 6th, 7th, and 8th threw up zeros, that allowed the offense the opportunity to pull off the improbable comeback it did. So, huge, huge, huge. Yes. Star Hill Stunners, Tennessee is the new Vandy. It's all about their coach, not an idiot whistling in the stands. Tim Corbin, though, is actually respected. Tony Vitello is kind of a jerk. Travis Daisy, go Tiger. And the biggest difference is that Vandy's able to build what it has built, mostly because they're not on a level playing field. Because they're wealthy and willing to invest the resources, they can give academic scholarships to any player they want, and basically have all 25 guys on the roster on a full ride. So that's how they've been able to do. And like, for example, a program that could do that is Tulane. If Tulane admins actually cared enough, Tulane could be Vanderbilt. They just don't. I mean, it's because it's really hard to divide 11.7, scholarships on your roster when it costs $60,000 to go to school there. Even if you get 25%, how many families can afford to pay that tuition, right? BB504, do you think LSU can get away with Dugas at second base? Yeah. I don't know if Dugas can play, like, if he physically is able. But remember, Gavin Dugas started his career at LSU. His first season, he played second base. He played second, he played first, he played third, he played, I think, left field or right field. I mean, he played second base in his first season. I think that was primarily where he played second and first because they were trying to get his bat in the lineup. So, yes, he could absolutely play second base. I just don't know if physically he's able. Let's see. Merrick Mathern. How does Southern Miss have 3 solid starters? LSU doesn't have 1. Great question. That will change, though. And I'll tell you, the guy that Southern Miss threw yesterday, their ace, Tanner Hall, we've talked about it a bunch. Dude from Zachary, Louisiana, who... Now, granted, he ended up at Southern Miss, so a lot of teams missed on him. But that kid would have given anything to go to LSU. Hunter Fournette, hopefully Barry knocked off that rust last night. Yeah, man. That base knock from the left side in the 8th looked pretty good. Ronnie Duga, who sells Cellivate and BR? Good question, Ronnie. Thanks for asking. Yes, Cellivate, great sponsor on AFR. Cellivate you can find at Mathern's in BR, and Rouse's all over the state. But unfortunately, I don't think it's gotten into the Baton Rouge Rouse's yet. But it is in the Mathern's in Baton Rouge. And if you're outside of Baton Rouge, any Rouse's will have it as well. Tommy Poole, good morning. Can you explain why they were shifting the second baseman to the left? It seems to me it cost us a couple of runs. Tommy, here's the hard. No, so if you're shifting, it's because you obviously know this hitter's tendencies. If you're shifting your second baseman to the left side of the infield against a right-handed hitter, it's because you know that this batter has a tendency to the pull side. So that's why. I mean, that's why you shift either direction. But as I've said a bajillion times, any hitter at this level should be able to beat the shift. if you can't just punch a ball through the hole on the other side where they aren't, that's just an embarrassing lack of bat control or just stubbornness where you're not willing to just take your base as opposed to trying to hit a double off the wall or a homer. So the surest way to beat the shift is just drop one down where they ain't and take your base. But too many guys don't do it. Let's see. Jeremy Harris, start of our postseason offensive explosion. Sure hope so, man. Brown Bear 765. Anytime you say one of the AFR drops on your streams, I do them myself out loud. Lance Bradford, what's up? Hunter, I felt like Stevenson could catch anything in the air. He could. So could Laird. I mean, those two were incredible. And you forget Fraley. I mean, Fraley was in left. You had three guys that were true center fielders playing in the outfield. I mean, it was really, it was unfair. I mean, those dudes caught everything. Let's see, Star Hill Stunners. UT statement said ESPN is handling the situation. We're expecting a public apology from them later today. I'm being very honest, y'all. Tennessee's Twitter was Vols baseball. I'm looking for that comment. I don't know why so many of you are hung up on this. I mean, LSU. Okay, here you go. All right, let's see. All right, according to Tony Vitello, Evan Russell was sick. Baseball program issued a statement before the game. Okay. All right, ESPN broadcast crew of Lowell Galiando and Troy Elkins announced that Evan Russell had been suspended for PEDs, according to reports and speculation they had seen. Oh, there's video of the exchange. Okay, let's watch it. Here we go.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Failed a drug test, and so Evan Russell, is suspended for the rest of the season. So Tennessee's going to have the whole rest of the team tested tomorrow. Or the NCAA is. So it's going to be interesting to see if that's just a one-player thing or if that is going to be throughout that whole entire program. Performance-enhancing drugs is what it was said. That's a big blow to the Vols.
Wow. You don't hear it?
All the way, Tony Vitello put it, says Evan Russell was sick. So there are reports and speculation out what the actual issue is, but per the head coach in his post-game press conference, sick. But we know this, he did not play against Alabama State. Tennessee was fine, that team is loaded.
So it wasn't even the Tennessee game. That was in the Oklahoma State-Missouri State game. Wow, that wasn't even on the Tennessee broadcast. So those were the guys calling the Oklahoma State-Missouri State game. And the color analyst obviously went all in, saying PEDs, they're going to have the whole team tested, etc. And then the play-by-play guy comes back and says, clearly he had the Google machine works. And for Tony Vitello, the report is he's sick. Wow, that is a big miss. Whoo, man. And I don't know. I mean, and the other thing, too, to keep in mind is, internal testing. Think about all the times that you found out about, like, LSU guys that have that were withheld from play. Internally, you never have to disclose if a player had tested positive. I mean, remember the whole Christian Fulton thing? That was an NCAA test, and he was only suspended because he tried to falsify the test. And we only knew all of that. LSU never said it. We only knew all that because Fulton ultimately came out and told his story. So Russell may have tested positive. We don't know. But Tennessee doesn't have to disclose that. So I don't know, man. Interesting. Wow. All right. Dustin Font. No. Oh, it's Kentucky Al Bourbon. Okay. It's very good too. Kentucky Hill bourbon is very good. Lance Bradford, morning, Matt. Thought after Hilliard left the game, they should have brought in someone with a heat to speed their bats up. I do agree with you, Lance. Actually, I'm okay. I'm okay with what they did because you at least gave them something different to look at, right? You went from looping breaking ball in Hilliard to lefty with that weird angle in Cooper, who's been maybe your best guy out of the bullpen all year. So I'm okay with that. And then obviously you went righty with some heat. So they did change it up. And ultimately they found the guy. I didn't think they'd go Fontenot. I think I tweeted during the game, time to show them Razelman to see if they can handle a power arm from the right side. They brought in Fontenot. Razelman obviously can dot 98, but 98, 99. But Fontenot, obviously just a different look. Power righty, really good sinker. It was very different from what they had seen. And clearly that was the thing that handcuffed their bats a bit. Rogers W, what happened to the serial downvoter? I don't know. They finally left. Yeah, for a long time on Morning Scone, we always had one guy that came in that would just downvote. Like, you see all the thumbs up, it's like the like button. He would hit the dislike. I don't know. It was one guy. It would seem like every day there was one. But anyway. But thanks to all of you who come for positivity and good reinforcements and sports talk. And even if we don't agree, that's cool. I just appreciate everybody for being part of this Morning Scone community that we've built now over 1,533 days. Are you kidding me? It's been more than 4 years, y'all. More than 4 years of Morning Scone. That's incredible. Thank you all so much for being here. Daryl Fontenot, what's going on? Let's see. Manny, good morning. Bandwagon full of all the doubters, frustrated couch coaches, fans back on. Please jump off. Takes 27 outs. Look, man, I'm never going to tell someone don't be a fan, but I am going to laugh my ass off at you if you're saying fire the coach and they're done and they're not any good and anything like that. And, and then they had that kind of rally. My Twitter was fun. My Twitter mentions were fun last night. Kenneth Kyle, I think Matt has a good shot against at Mississippi State transfer Jack Walker. I do. I absolutely do. I'm.
He just sat up and said, "There's no D." I'm waiting for him to wake up like 30 minutes, and there's no D.
Erica just walked in and said Drew sat up in his bed and went, "There is no D." So Drew is like addicted to Wheel of Fortune, and I think the whole ride home he watched basically, and then yesterday too. Come on, over the course of yesterday. No, I get it. But on the road and home yesterday, he watched a lot of Wheel. He watches a lot of Wheel of Fortune, and so he'll watch these episodes, and so he just popped. It was like, there is no D. Yesterday he said he did one. He's like, there is no A. Nicole, back to you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I used a dash of Pediasure. Why? It's basically like a milk. I mean,
That is gross.
no, it's not.
Ugh.
It's vanilla shake Pediasure. It's just that stuff is so like gold right now on the black market, so maybe I shouldn't have used it.
The grocery girl away.
Huh?
The grocery girl's
Oh, good. Kyle Gallo. Oh, is Cartwright here? Some of y'all are shouting out Cartwright. Man, that's the thing about Facebook. It only lets you scroll back so far on the comments. But a lot of y'all are shouting out Cartwright. What's up, Cartwright, if you're watching? Hunter Eubanks, Floyd needs to have an outing like he did against Vandy. Yes, sir. Matt Ricino. Wayne Leitz? I know it's early. All I can focus on is a collection of whiskey bottles. And, man, what you're looking at is barely even like a fraction of it. Samuel Merrifield, Matt, is Milazzo done for the year? I don't know that he's done for the year. But it's just very clear that he's not right and isn't going to be able to catch for an extended period of time. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point you're in a situation where maybe you need an inning as a defensive replacement, maybe. But I don't think you're going to see him have any extended outing. Look, at this point, I think we even said that a month ago, where look, at this point, when you've been out for 2 months, it's just hard to imagine getting back at this point, But look, Jay said they want a part of the program. You know, I think he'll be your starting catcher next year, unless if one of these, you know, stud freshmen get on campus and win the job. But they want a part of the program.
Okay, just a heads up. He's already saying too that he's going to the elevators
Yeah.
and Sharky. Y'all have to do, y'all step up, have to go to work and Sharky's.
Okay. We can leave here at 11, get to work, do 10 minutes at work, then go straight to Sharky's.
Okay, you just do that.
It does, doesn't it? Stacy, Matt, your fabulous comments last night was like taking the emotions and comments directly from the hearts of me and Kenny's mouths. You got it, Stacy, for sure. I'm glad you saw it. Let's see, Mark, dusting off my Jose Canseco 86 Donruss rated rookie card as we speak. Mark, I gotta go find that thing in the attic, man. I hope I still have it. Like, I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna dig through all my stuff. I hope I still have it. You know, if not, I'll have to find something that will be agreeable. I'm almost positive I don't have the Bobby A. Bear. I'm almost positive that I have a Dalton Hilliard. I have a Ricky Jackson. Bro, I got an autographed Ricky Jackson glossy that I got at the Sportsman. This had to be like 92. What? Hey, buddy. Hey, bud. That's you. Mark, this had to be like 92. 91, 92, somewhere in there. There was a gun and knife show at the River Center. And we're not outdoors people, but I think my dad wanted to get us like a BB gun to be able to like practice in the backyard, you know, or something. So we went. And Ricky Jackson was there signing autographs. I got like a glossy Ricky Jackson autograph picture too. So I have several of these. So if I can't find the Bobby A. Bear that I got at the gas station in New Orleans East at a Bobby A. Bear appearance circa 1988, 87, 88, somewhere in there. I'll have something, Mark. I'll have something that I'll make as a make good somehow, some way. I don't know why you picked Jose Canseco 86 Donruss rookie. Let's see. How good is Southern Miss offense? They only put up 2 runs against Army. Yeah, so Brian, that's kind of the trade-off, right? Southern Miss, really good staff. And they got some dudes in their lineup that can bop it. Like, so they, here, I don't know names offhand, so here, I'll run through this real quickly. So Dustin Dickerson's their leading hitter. He's like hitting 350. Hang on. He's hitting 335, but he's their only hitter over 300. Next is Slade Wilkes at 286. Carson Patel is at 285. Gabe Montenegro is at 284. Reese Ewing is at 283. So Danny Lynch is at 281. So you got guys that can swing it, but you don't have necessarily that glut of Barry, Cruz. Like, who does though, right? But here's the thing: they do have dudes that can leave the yard. Christopher Sargent's got 20 homers on the year. They got 4 dudes that are double-digit homer dudes. So Christopher Sargent's got 20. Will McGillis is 15. Carson Patel's got 13. And then Wilkes and Ewing each have 10. So they got 5 guys that have double-digit homers on the season. So they got dudes that can leave the yard too. But, you know, let's see. 1 second real quick. One second, y'all. So, by comparison, come on, load. Dagnabbit, load. So, Southern Miss has scored 383 runs on the year. LSU has scored 485. So LSU has scored 100 more runs over the course of the season than has Southern Miss. And keep in mind, LSU's done it against the SEC, Southern Miss against Conference USA. So offensively, you're talking about a sizable gap here, right? Between the two. So, yes, LSU absolutely has an advantage offensively. Southern Miss undeniably has an advantage on the mound, and they're a better defensive team as well, and they're home. So Southern Miss has a lot going for it tonight. It really comes down to starting pitching. Can Ty Floyd go and throw up a bunch of zeros, and can this offense break through against a pitcher with an ERA sub 3? That's why it's fun, man. David Tolson, Chance Babin, freshman from NC State with 27 homers, is in the portal. Yes, he is. That's surprising too. And I've told y'all again, I'm gonna keep mentioning this because I haven't heard anything to the contrary yet. But Josh Day, who is a shortstop for Missouri this year, LSU played Missouri. Y'all got to see him. Josh Day's a shortstop at Missouri. Hit 340 this year. He is just in baseball circles. He is thought to be considering entering the portal. If he does, I would absolutely expect LSU would go hard after him. And that's not a direct knock on Thompson, but Thompson's obviously had his struggles this year. And if you have an opportunity to make your team better and bring in a guy that's hit 340 in the SEC and has been an all-conference caliber defensive shortstop, you go get that guy. Skip, hopefully Cade is back at second base so Joe Bear can DH. You know what's interesting, Skip? It's really surprising he didn't play there to me last night. Because I would think that the greater risk is swinging the bat violently, especially it's his left shoulder, so it's his top shoulder, than playing second base. I mean, I guess if you lay out, right, then you have the risk of injury again. But that surprised me. It surprised me he's not there in second base. Ray Greer, oh, that's a good point, Ray. We haven't talked about that yet. Big rain in Miami going to push us back if we make it. So Ray, what would likely happen is, so yesterday LSU's paired with Coral Gables. Hattiesburg is paired with Coral Gables. So Coral Gables got rained out yesterday, so they're starting today. They could theoretically go into Tuesday if need be, which has happened before. They will most certainly play to Monday in that regional. But what would likely happen, remember, Supers go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So they stagger them. So 4 of them start Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and 4 go Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So because of the weather in Coral Gables, whoever comes out of that super regional would likely be in a super that would go Saturday, Sunday, Monday to give them an extra day's grace, if that makes sense. Ryan Amanda Guidry, great morning show like always. Thank you so much. Eric Trosclair, what's up? Chance Babin, the Cal Ripken of morning podcasts. I guess so, man. I mean, Ripken was, that's actually a good target. Ripken broke Gehrig's record at 21:31. I don't remember what the number is he finished at, but we're creeping up on that now, man. We're at 15:33. I mean, what's another couple years, right? Billy Freeman, can we see Dugas soon? I'm surprised he didn't play yesterday, quite honestly. I thought the rest would have done him well, and he would have been out there. But it really just might have been a decision where because Doty had to DH, Joe Bear had to play right. And so you come to the decision, do you want to play Dugas or Pearson? And they wanted Pearson for both offensive and defensive purposes, which I can't say that I blame them. Patrick K. saw him at the Auburn players, Cole Foster. He played high school baseball with my son Ashton. That's awesome, man. Bro, what a night for him, huh? Homered twice in the same inning from both sides of the plate. That's insane. Drew Hurst is Drew watching Robert episodes again. Sometimes, yes, he does. He goes OG and pulls up Robert from time to time. Billy Freeman, Drew is God's gift to you and your wife. Thank you, Billy. We completely agree, man. Yes. Kyle Gaio, you said Alden Cartwright. We just repeat the name. Got it. I didn't know if Cartwright had jumped in here. Got it. Okay, I can do Hilliard to Ricky Jackson. Okay. Billy Freeman, hold on to Ricky J. I taught his daughter Rakia and Kenner in the mid-90s. That's awesome, man. Shelby, you said Bobby Hebert, and it made me think of my favorite Cannon story. The Saints were playing Jacksonville. Bobby was doing post-game. He'd obviously had a few beverages. He kept saying the Jags punter a female cat. Ooh. They went to commercial. He was gone and they came back. Sounds about right. I cannot confirm that actually happened, but it sounds about right. Let's see. Skip. Joe Bear can hit, but he's lost in right. Yes. He is a defensive liability, but you have to have him in the lineup. So I get it. It's not an easy decision to make. Like, best case scenario is Doty can play second, and Dugas is in left, and Pearson's in right, and Joe Bear DHs. That's your best case, and Barry's at third. Like, that's your best case scenario. But if you're not healthy, which LSU hasn't been in a long time now, you got to find a way to piece it together. And I think they're doing the best they can. Ben Boudreaux, more Matt, sounds like I missed an amazing night last night, freaking work. Oh, man. You missed a heck of a comeback. For those that missed it, I'll read this off to you real quickly, just for perspective on last night. Courtesy of the great Todd Politz, LSU stat guru man over working for the sports information department. Here you go. LSU tied its program record for a comeback in NCAA postseason play. 7 runs. This was the third time they've done it. In 1997, they trailed 7-0 in the second to Cal State Fullerton, 113-11. In the 1999 regional, they trailed East Carolina 9-2 mid-fourth, 112-10. And then last night, of course, they trailed 11-4 mid-eighth and 114-11. So this was by far the latest in a game they had been down 7 runs to come back to win. Also, the second largest deficit overcome after 7 complete innings by LSU ever. I'm sorry, the second largest. They trailed Ole Miss 13 to in 1988. They trailed Ole Miss 13-3 after 7 and won 15-10 in the 10th. Wow. I'm sorry, 15-13. 15-13. And then record for an NCAA comeback. I mentioned that already. Sorry. Cray. What a night. All right, any more? Aaron Hornsby. Mark, I heard 20,000 LSU fans driving up to Hattiesburg. I don't think that's going to happen. They don't get 20,000 for a game at the box, bro. They're not going to get 20,000 at Hattiesburg, man. Shelby Kelly, it was the 5th most runs they scored in 1 inning in postseason play. Let's see. Finish this up here on YouTube. By the way, smash the like button. 161 still watching. Thank you so much. Please smash that like button. We're at 78 likes. I know we can get over 100. As always, shout out to Brock. BROrtho.com. Get your tickets for Brock Rock and Wine coming up August the 6th inside of Tiger Stadium. Of course, if you need an orthopedist, after hours clinic open today and every single weekend. Nights and weekends, by the way, after hours. So BROrtho.com. Of course, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Would just appreciate it so much if y'all could take a quick second and leave us a Google review. That would be awesome. Go to Hudco on Google. Leave us a Google review, 5-star. That would be just phenomenal. We continue to grow our SEO. It's a simple ask. Just go to Hudco on Google, hit reviews, boom, 5-star, bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. We'd appreciate it. That'd be so great. So thank you. All right. Of course, we'd love to give you a free, no obligation roofing inspection before storm season. It is officially hurricane season. Let us come take a look at your roof to make sure you're ready to roll before the storms roll in. Georgetown 65, looking ahead a bit. If LSU takes the regional and Arizona takes Coral Gables, would we host? Yes. So the way that process works is if neither of the national seeds advance, the teams that advance put in their bid for the regional, and LSU would most certainly host against any of those teams, be it Ole Miss or Arizona, as a LSU as a 2 seed, and then obviously with their history and the type of package they could put together as a super regional host, clearly LSU would. Any word on the player the Pelicans may favor in next month's draft? Not really, man. Nothing out of the Pelicans anyway. Let's see. Robert Cooley, Ultimate Warrior. Only Miami can host Supers if they win that regional. Anyone else we host. I would agree. Robbie White, morning Matt from Hattiesburg. All right. Last night was surreal. It was weird when Morgan singled in the 8th. It's like the whole momentum changed. The comeback was imminent. Yeah. Because I believe Morgan, I can pull up the box score. I think Morgan was the 4th consecutive hit at that point. Let's see. So Stevenson walked. Cruz was hit by a pitch. And then Barry singled. So Barry singled, Pearson singled, Thompson doubled, then Pinson came in, Doty singled. No, wait, I missed Morgan. Was Morgan? Okay, Morgan singled. So Morgan was the 4th consecutive hit, and he was the first against Pinson, and then Doty singled as well. That was incredible. Then McManus walked. Joe Bear with the RBI fielder's choice. Then Cruz doubled. So good. Oh my God. Barry was intentionally walked. Pearson singled. And then Thompson grounded into the double play. Man, if Thompson could have beat out the double play ball. I mean, not that it matters, but you'd have still been going. Let's see, Edward Shields, what's up, Brant Roban? If you're Kennesaw State, you burned through some big pitchers and demoralizing loss. What do you do now? It's a great question, man. You try to slug your way to a win today against Army, but you're going to meet the end of the road. Even if they beat Army today, they'd have to come back tomorrow and play in an elimination game for the right to beat Southern Miss or LSU twice. So, I mean, I think Kennesaw State can beat Army today, but man, that's probably the end of their road. I mean, they probably lose after that. Ultimate Warrior, proud of Fontenot, performed like a senior, former All-American should have. Amen. Brett Dagro, I think it's Floyd, Hasty, Raisman, and Gervais to close. Yeah, Brett, I guess it just depends how the game goes, right? I mean, it's hard to say that's the order because it really just depends how the game is going. I mean, if Floyd gives you 6, then you go Floyd, and you have a lead, give it to Raiselman and let him finish it. You know what I mean? We saw him do that against Vanderbilt. So it really depends how the game's going. Let's see. Robert Cooley asked E-Rock if she felt comfortable with the amount of CBS and Walgreens in Destin. She's in the other room. Let's see. 7-year-old is down with the Price is Right. Robbie White, LSU won the flip and will be the home team this evening. That's great news. It means LSU will be wearing its gold again for those that care about such things. But more importantly, LSU gets to bat second. David Durr, wow, is not what I said. That's whoa. What is that? That's a kid's career. Hold on, Dave. I don't know what you're talking about, man. You gotta come back. Yeah, Dave, you gotta come back, man. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Taz, I have Andrew Luck's rookie card, but he didn't finish his career. I had Emmett Smith's rookie card, but Katrina took that away along with Reggie Bush card. Yeah, it's interesting, man. Like, it's hard to know what's valuable in cards anymore because you went through the junk wax era, and anything like from basically the mid 80s on just hasn't been worth anything until this recent surge in the way that they've sort of rebuilt scarcity in cards. Joseph Fallsgraf gave up on the game in the 7th and shut it off. ULL beat TCU. The TCU was look, y'all. The Big 12 is a terrible league. They were a terrible league this year. I know Oklahoma State's hosting. The Big 10 and the Big 12 were terrible this year. Danny Braywick, I have a lot of 80s and 90s baseball cards I need to look through. Danny, unfortunately, they're not worth anything. Like, that was the junk wax. That's me too. I have bajillions of cards. They're just not worth anything. I mean, I have a Greg Maddux rookie card that's worth like $25. I mean, it's just cards got so popular and they just mass produced them, and it just completely suppressed the value because there's so much supply. So you can look through them and you might find a gem somewhere, but you're just likely not going to find anything that's really actually valuable. Trust me, I learned that the hard way a few years ago. Ronnie Dugas, Shane O'Mac totally missed the monster comeback last night. We shoot pool league on Friday nights and the bar didn't have it on. I'll have to protest next time. Go Tigers. What about Tommy Tanks, the NC State transfer at 27 dingers? Yeah, man, you got to go after that guy, right? Hunter, rumor has it, he's going home, probably to FSU. The portion I feel fits him great as a lot of his dingers are oppo. Dave Bowden heard Southern Miss is throwing a lefty. David, I don't think that that's true. Their 3 starters are all righties. So they threw Hall yesterday. If it's, Riggins or Waldrop, they're both righties. So whichever one they throw today, LSU's going to face a righty. Few more, and then I got to bounce. What's the crowds? That's a good question, Matt. Matt Gerard. What's the crowd split going to be like? I don't know, man. It's going to be really interesting to see how many LSU fans can get into the stadium tonight. Keep in mind that it's not a Southern Miss home game. It is an NCAA event, so each fan base each school participating gets an allotment of tickets. Now, obviously, Southern Miss is hosting, and their season ticket holders are going to get a larger allotment. But if LSU fans go and sort of aggressively pursue the GA tickets, they can make their presence felt. I don't know what the split will be like, but it's obviously the easiest regional for LSU to travel to in this era. I mean, the 3 times they've traveled previously were to Los Angeles, Corvallis, and Eugene. So the fact that everyone can drive in an hour and a half and be in Hattiesburg, it's doable. Maybe 2 hours in Baton Rouge, depending who's driving. Alex, I know this is hard to predict. What are the Tigers' chances if we beat Southern Miss tonight? I mean, if you beat Southern Miss tonight, it's hard to imagine not advancing because whoever you play is then going to have to go play a loser's bracket game. That'd be the 3rd game of the weekend and come back and beat you twice. They will ultimately have to win 5 games over the weekend. So, play 5 games over the weekend, I should say. 5 games in 3 days, man. That's, I don't know who has the pitching for that. So, I mean, it's happened. I mean, Houston in 2014 came out of the loser's bracket and beat LSU. If you remember, they brought that kid with the rubber arm to pitch twice, and LSU just couldn't figure him out. Ended up being Aaron Nola's final college game. But it's happened. I mean, LSU came out of the loser's bracket last year, but boy, it's a big ask. It happens. It's just a big ask. Brant Robin, any chance we get 100% healthy this season? Nah, man. Well, I mean, you can't, obviously, because you won't have Milazzo at 100%. Javen Coleman's on the shelf for the year. You just got dudes battling things. It's been unfortunate. John Malonzo, morning, Matt. Hope you're having a good day. How's Drew been doing? He's great. Thank you so much. Josh Langlois, did you hear about the horrible hotel situation that Missouri State had? I did not, with bed bugs, blood stains. Oh, no, I have not. That's gross. Let's see. Any more over here on Facebook, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. Been on more than an hour. I got to get Drew rolling. Kenneth Kyle, Matt, you were interrupted. But do you think LSU has a chance with Jack Walker? Yes, I do. Kenneth Kyle. I mean, he was from Barb, and LSU just got in late. I mean, State was the first to offer him. LSU got in late on him, and he just maintained his commitment to State. So good on him for that loyalty. But yeah, I mean, I would think LSU has a great chance. Blake Oob, good morning. Billy Freeman, William Martin. How about them Tigers? All right. Blake Oob, pitching neutralizes hitting. That's, the old adage is great pitching beats good hitting, just like great, defense wins championships in football. I mean, I get it. So we'll see how it goes tonight, man. All right. Appreciate y'all for watching so much. Again, if you're on YouTube, we're at 91 likes. with 158 people watching. I need 9 more likes to get to 100. If you've not done so yet, take a quick second, please, and smash that like button. If you're on mobile, just X out of the chat, hit the thumbs up. You can hit live chat. The comments come right back. We can get over 100. I know it. Please do that. And on Facebook, please like the page, share the post. That's like the Matt Moscona page if you've not done so yet. And share this post so more people can see it. And on YouTube, if you're new, please subscribe to the channel. It's not like it costs you anything or whatever. It's just when you go to, it's free. And you just hit the subscribe button on the channel. And so that whenever we post a video, we go live or something like that, you'll be able to see it. So when we do Morning Scone, when we do our immediate post-game reactions, companion shows, all that stuff, we do it right here, however you're watching. So we got to 100. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it greatly. All right. As always, shout out to Brock, Banner Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. You can always email me directly, Matt@HudcoRoofing.com, Matt@HudcoRoofing.com. Honest to goodness, or text me. If you want me to facilitate for you directly, I'm happy to do that. Matt@HudcoRoofing.com, or you can text the show text line 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. All right. We are done. Y'all have an awesome day. Peace. Go Tigers.